Hi, everybody. Thanks for the attendees that have joined me so far. I'm super excited to give you guys a Nexford Virtual Tour today, but in the meantime, I'm just going to wait another minute for more people to join us. So please feel free to introduce yourself in the chat. I'd love to learn more about you, where in the world you're from, as well as which Nexford program you're interested to apply to. If everybody can hear me, I'd love for you to raise a hand, and I'd love to hear from you in the chat. Okay, great. Please, guys, let me know if you are able to send a message on chat. I just need to make sure that the chat isn't locked or something for anybody. In the case that it is, you can drop me a message in the Q&A box or the Q&A section so I can sort that out, and you guys can be able to also drop messages in the chat. Okay, thanks for letting me know, guys. I'm so sorry that the chat is disabled. If you'll be patient with me, give me a few minutes. I'll try to sort it out. Guys, yeah, no one is speaking. I'm sorry. I was just on mute. I was trying to sort the chat issue. It's because currently the attendees that we have are unfortunately unable to use the chat function for the webinar. I've tried to go ahead and fix that. Please, guys, let me know if you've seen any difference, and you can now drop a message on chat. Guys, is the chat still disabled? Still disabled. I'm sorry to hear that. I guess this is something I'll need to sort out with my team later. I've gone ahead and changed the settings, but it seems there's an issue currently with the webinar. But the great thing is that you guys can still send me messages in the Q&A section, and I'm able to read that. So feel free to use that as the chat box in the meantime. At least that way we can communicate And I'm sorry to have taken so much time from you guys. Let's get started with the virtual tour. All right, let me share my screen, guys. And before I get started, I'd love to just introduce myself again. So my name is Mai, and I'm a senior advisor here at Nexford University. I have been with Nexford for more than 3 years now. And during that time, I've spoken with so many learners as well as aspiring learners from around the world. One of the most common questions I get is that, how exactly will I be studying online at Nexford? How is the online platform like? So this is what I'm here to show you today. Currently, what you're looking at is the main platform at Nexford. This is the homepage of the online platform. It's called Canvas, by the way. So that's the learning management system that we're using. It's super user-friendly. And the great thing is that there's a mobile application as well. So whether you're using Android or iPhone, you can download something called Canvas Student and just use your login credentials, which you're going to receive once you get enrolled at Nexford. And through that, you're going to be able to do your studying, whether it's on a PC or a laptop or even on your mobile phone. And of course, there's no specific time for you to log in and study. At Nexford, you can log in anytime to do your learning, any time of the day, any time of the week, so long as you meet your assignment deadlines and your project deadlines and so on. All right, so let me tell you about the main platform, the homepage here. Like I said, you get access to this as soon as you get enrolled at Nexford. So to enroll at Nexford, there's a couple of steps, of course, that you need to follow. First of which is that you need to apply. So to apply at Nexford, you need to pick a program, make sure you meet the admission requirements, and then pay a one-time $20 application fee. Once you've applied, you've submitted your application, you've uploaded your documents and so on, you can receive a response anywhere from 1 to 2 days to up to 7 days if there's any complications with your documents, but it often takes just 1 to 2 days to get a response from our admissions team with your application decision. Once that's done, the next step is enrollment. So enrollment, the main part of it is that, of course, you pay at least the first month of your chosen program tuition. So if it's an MBA and you're, let's say, based in Nigeria, then you need to pay at least $180 in order to complete your enrollment. And of course, during the enrollment process, there's some other things you need to complete, which is quite easy and straightforward on the online platform. It's going to be through the same link that you actually did your application, only it's going to take you through the enrollment process where you need to, choose your payment frequency, whether you want to pay monthly, every 2 months or every 6 months. And also, which by the way, you can change anytime. So there's no pressure. If you choose to pay monthly for now, and you decide to change it later, you can do that anytime just by letting our team know. So that's one thing you do. The other thing is you sign an enrollment agreement and, and that's about it. Pick a start date. So our programs start on the 1st of every month. Currently, our next program start date is on September 1st, but you can apply anytime, enroll anytime, and pick a future start date up to 3 months ahead. So that is just an overview, guys. I wanted to give you quickly of the application and enrollment process. So that way, when I say enrollment, you guys know precisely what I'm talking about. So once you enroll at Nexford, you've completed your your admission and everything into Nexford, then you can receive access to this online platform, even if you chose a future start date. So that means you'll have early access to the platform, you'll have early access to all of the learner benefits I'm going to go over today. So you guys can learn more about that. And you can go through all of that even before you start your official Nexford program. All right, I hope that's clear. I'd love a confirmation from you guys. I'm so sad the chat isn't working. I apologize for that, but we often run these virtual tours. Perhaps there were some sort of settings that were changed. I'm happy to have another tour with you guys later, if you guys wish to then send any questions. But as you can see for now, if you send something in the Q&A box or the Q&A section in Zoom, I can still see your messages, so that's a good thing. So please, if you have any questions about the parts that I've discussed so far, don't forget to send your questions there. I'd love a confirmation that you guys can hear me loud and clear and that everything I've said so far is quite clear for you. So don't be shy, guys. I'd love to hear from you in the Q&A section before I move forward. Anything, guys? You can even just raise a hand. That way I can just be sure that everything I've said so far has been heard and that it's quite clear. Okay, fantastic. Thank you so much, Ekotobar and Amechi Mubarak. Thank you so much. Okay, fantastic. Glad to know you guys are on track with me. That way we can continue. Okay, so that's the application and enrollment process. Let's now talk about the online platform. So this is the homepage. What you're looking at, these boxes, they represent the courses that you're enrolled in at Nexford. So this is actually an example of an MBA course, and this is as an example of a BBA course. What is the NXU Orientation and what is the Writing Lab? So these aren't courses in the Nexford program that you've chosen to enroll in. They're very different, and let me explain them to you. So the NXU Orientation, this is a short course that you need to complete before you jump into the program that you've enrolled in at Nexford. So the orientation is quite clear, quite simple. All that it is a welcome package. It'll tell you everything you need to know to get started at Nexford, and I'll give you a sneak peek of that here. So first of all, if I click on NXU Orientation, let me show you how that looks like in the inside. So every Nexford course includes 6 modules as well as a final project. And from those 6 modules and final project, there are a total of 6 assignments that are graded as well as the final project, and those form your overall grade at Nexford. So we don't have exams, you get graded for how you're doing your assignments and how you're doing your final projects. So when it comes to the NXU Orientation, you'll see it only has 3 modules. So only 3 modules, it's much shorter, as well as a closing. And what the NXU Orientation covers is everything you need to know to get started at Nexford from A to Z. So how to use the online platform, right? So this is the introduction part of the NXU Orientation, and I'm happy to show that to you guys. We start off with a little welcome video from Nexford's founder and CEO, Fadil Tarzi. You'll see him speaking in this video here. I'd love to play that for you guys just for a few seconds.
It's been said that the future is a convenient place for dreams, so why not dream big? I've always known education changes lives, but I first realized its impact over a decade ago. On my entrepreneurial journey, I saw a gap between the skills of college graduates and the needs of employers. With my own startups, I struggled to find people with the right competencies. For example, I couldn't find a software engineer with effective communications.
All right, so that's just a sneak peek for you guys. Of course, you can watch the welcome video in its entirety, hopefully once you enroll at Nexford. But this is just a small example of the very different or dynamic elements through which you're going to be doing your studying at Nexford. It's not just going to be a lot of text. We don't want our learners falling asleep. You'll find that there are videos like these, there are blog length articles. You're going to find embedded audio clips, outside resources, YouTube videos, little exercises, and so much more. So if I get the chance today, if we have some time, I'll show you more of those different elements. We always want to keep our learners engaged, like I said, and I'm sure you're going to totally enjoy the online learning experience. So after any videos like this, you'll find that every video also has a written transcript that you can download, which is super helpful. As you go through the orientation from the beginning, it's going to start telling you about things you can join and things you can do that's going to help you, get welcomed into the Nexford community and get to know learners from around the world, one of which is the NXU Learning Communities. So through these, you'll find that they cover different topics. These are led by other Nexford learners. You'll find different areas like entrepreneurship, whether you're into finance, human resources, marketing, and so much more. So these are things you can join from the beginning. You can definitely also join WhatsApp groups. So some of these are country specific, program specific, or intake specific. So what I mean by that is, let's say you're choosing to start your program September 1st. You can find that there's a WhatsApp group for people specifically starting on September 1. That's one option. You can definitely join also per country or per program, whether you're studying an MBA or a BBA or a short certificate. So what's great is there are a ton of different WhatsApp study groups for learners that you can join. You can even start up your own if you're not finding a WhatsApp group specific to your country. In the meantime, just to make sure you guys are with me as well, I'd love for you to write in your Q&A from where in the world you're joining me today. So I'm sure we have some learners from Nigeria. I'm curious if we have anybody from South Africa or where else in the world are you joining us today? Just drop that in. I'd love to learn that about you as I just go through the orientation. All right, so this is the NXU orientation. Let me just scroll a little bit more to give you guys an idea about the university starter kit. Okay, so Amechi or Amechi, I'm sorry if I'm not saying your name correctly. You're joining from Nigeria as well as Efotubor. Amazing. I'm so glad to have you guys with me today. We have a ton of learners from Nigeria and as well as 90 countries around the world. So I definitely love for you guys to join our online global learning community. So the orientation covers everything you need to know also about, what programs we offer, course ordering. So while you do have a choice to take certain courses, there are going to be 26 courses on offer for the MBA, for example, but you can choose which 12 or more that you wish to take. But they have to be taken in a certain order. So you're going to learn all about that. You're going to learn about course load, how many courses you can take at the same time. The more courses you take at the same time, the faster you can finish your program, the less you'll pay, the sooner you'll graduate. So that's definitely an option. You'll learn also about the deadlines and so much more. So you'll be fully equipped after finishing the orientation. And like I said, you can access this as soon as you get enrolled. The great thing is you can be super ready before your chosen program start date. Oh, so we have Mubarak from Nigeria as well. We have a Zoom user who is currently anonymous, unfortunately. I can't see your name, but you're also from Nigeria. It's so great to have you today. All right. So that is the NXU orientation. Before I talk about the writing lab, let me just talk about the simple and quick features you get as a Nexford learner. First of all, this is the navigation pane, this yellow part here, as well as Ask NXU. These follow you no matter where you are in the online platform. They're always there, right? So by clicking on courses, you can see all the courses that you're enrolled in. So that's an overview of that. History, of course, is super handy. You can use this to go back to any page you recently clicked on in the online platform. And then you have calendar. So before I show you the calendar, I want you to notice these little colorful dots here. You can change that to any color you like, and I'll show you where that makes a difference. Let's pick green, for example, for this one. It's just some fun features you can play around with in the platform or choose to do a color overlay. So where does this make a difference? It makes a difference in the calendar. You'll see that these have different colors depending on the colors that you've selected. These are automatic events or reminders that get added to your Nexford calendar depending on the course that you're enrolled in. So this way, you can make sure to never miss an assignment. As you can see when I click on this, it shows you different elements, right? You can, of course, add your own event, your own to-do. You can make it fleshed out as much as you like if you want to put in more details. And the great thing is if you download the Nexford application, of course, you can sync your calendar also on your mobile phone. In any case, you can sync your calendar to your PC or your laptop also and receive notifications straight to your phone, so you never miss any reminder or any assignment. Okay. Abudun is from Nigeria as well, and Judith, so glad to have you guys. Thanks for dropping messages in the Q&A. Judith, you have a great question. I'm gonna get to that at the end. So for now, I'll get to all of the questions at the end of our webinar. All right, so that is the calendar, right? Let me now also show you the inbox. So the inbox is one of the easiest ways you can communicate with anybody in our team, whether it's another professor, another teacher, another student. You also receive any announcements in your mailbox from faculty. So I will tell you all about the writing lab, and I'll tell you all about Caroline Fernandez and what these messages mean. But for now, let me show you how to compose a new message. So let's say you want to send a message to a specific learner, who's studying with you. And let's say the leadership and organizational development course. It's super easy. You can choose who to message, let's say students. And let's say Abigail is with you in this course, and it's as simple as that. Put in a subject, and your message and send. That's how easy it is to communicate with anybody in the organization through the inbox tool, which of course is also in the mobile application. All right, so that is the inbox. And of course, once you're enrolled in any Nexford course, I want to show you something super easy. You'll find this section here called People. So this is in the tabs or the options of any Nexford course, aside from the orientation, of course. So under People, you're going to find all the people that are enrolled at the same time. And normally you'll be able to see something you can click on that can allow you to message that person. So before you even start your program, you're going to be able to know who your course professor is, and you can even communicate with them before you start your program. We also have an embedded chat option. So we have the inbox, you can send an email. There's something called a discussion forum I want to show you as well. And you can even have a live chat like this, which is embedded in every course. So there's a ton of ways you can communicate. I want to show you the discussion forum. You go to the orientation. No, sorry. The leadership and organizational development. You'll see at the top of every course, you'll see that at the top there's something called NXU community discussion. So this is the discussion forum. Of course, you'll have different discussions per course. When you click on that, you might find different prompts. For now, this is just a standard asking you to introduce yourself as soon as you get started at Nexford. This is because of the NXU Orientation. We recommend everybody to jump in, introduce themselves, say something about themselves, what they're doing. Are they studying? Are they working? You can even add a photo. Some people add their social media profiles, and it's a great way to introduce yourself to everybody else that's enrolled in that course. So this is just an example. You'll find you can do something like this. Other learners can reply or do a thumbs up and then continue responding to this. You'll find like a very long discussion forum most of the time, or a long discussion between different learners under every course. So that is an option that you have, one of the many ways you can communicate. Let me quickly tell you about the writing lab now, as we are close to ending our webinar. So the writing lab, when you click on that, this is a resource that you have access to as a Nexford learner, unlimited access to throughout your whole learning journey. And what this is all about is because we know that not every Nexford learner is a natural born writer. You may need help with your academic writing or improving your English skills. Of course, you're going to be asked to use certain formatting throughout your Nexford program that you may not be familiar with, one of which is called APA formatting. So you're going to learn all about that. And if you go to the module section, this is where you get all the tips and tricks related to writing. So whether it's paraphrasing or plagiarism, how to avoid that, paragraph structure, all of that. There's also an FAQ section. So if all of this still doesn't answer the question that you have, we recommend you book a one-on-one session. So what we mean by that, if we go back to the home section here, that is Caroline Fernandez. You probably have seen her name many times now, so let me explain. She is our writing lab coach. She's fantastic. You can learn a bit about her here. She will help answer you, in regards to any question you have related to writing. You can click on this link and it takes you to a private booking page with Caroline Fernandez. So here you can book a 30-minute call. Just pick any day in any timing, for example. Put in your info and book. And it's as easy as that. You'll have a 30-minute scheduled call with her. She'll help answer any questions that you may have. So that is one of the ways. Otherwise, you'll see, like I said, these announcements that you'll find in your inbox. It is because she holds these drop-in sessions probably weekly. So she often holds them. These calls can be joined by several learners. So sometimes we have even up to 80 learners or more joining these calls. You can, I would really recommend, if you don't want to have a one-on-one and you want to get the opportunity to meet other learners from around the world, perhaps hearing the different questions that they have as well. And these calls could really help jog your memory of what other questions you may have in relation to writing. So I think these are super useful. She also announces beforehand what topics these drop-in sessions are going to cover. And if you happen to miss it, you'll see that she records them. So that is super useful. As you can see here, she announces that she did actually record these drop-in sessions, so you can always watch a playback of that. Here's where you can join. This is an upcoming one, of course, but if it's already been missed, then you will find that there's a recording. For example, this one, drop-in recording. So that is the writing lab for you guys. All right, so that is one of the ways that you will receive hands-on help from our team. And last but not least, you'll see that there's something called a success scheduler. So once you enroll at Nexford, you actually get assigned a dedicated and personal success advisor that is going to help you throughout your program, especially in the first few months. So I did mention that already. So if you click on Success Scheduler, it takes you also to this advising session page. It's a booking page quite similar to the one I showed you for Caroline Fernandez. You can pick any day of the week, also any timing. So you have the option to pick actually the success advisor you were assigned as soon as you enrolled. Let's say it's Camille, but you find that she's not available. That's okay. You can speak with any other success advisor. They're all super helpful. They're all, they'd be more than happy to help you at any time. So you can pick anybody else, let's say yourself, put timing, your details, and book. And that way you'll have a session with them as well. Right, so that is one of the ways. There's also this virtual tool here. I don't want you to forget about it. It follows you on any page you're on at Nexford. And the online platform also, you can write a question. Probably you'll find the answer for that. Let's say orientation. Maybe not orientation. So how do I submit an assignment, for example? You'll find a ton of answers. You'll find that it's super useful, step by step. There'll be pictures. And if it doesn't quite answer your question, most often you'll find even at the bottom of these things, suggestions for who else you can reach out to if you have more questions. All right, so let's find an example here. Here's an example. So here we tell you if this, if you still need help, you can actually email success@nexford.org. This is a great tool if your question you feel is quite common or easy, and you don't necessarily need to book a call with an advisor to answer that question. All right, that is a success scheduler. Last but not least, let me just quickly talk about the different learner benefits you get. So first of all is the NXU Library. So this is a robust library of over 60 million resources that you get access to, for, unlimited access to as a Nexford learner. They cover so many different topics and industries around the world. You'll find that there are research papers, articles, blogs, encyclopedias, and so much more. So this can help you throughout your Nexford program. You can even use it for just reading, it could help you even with your job, in your career, and so much more. All right, so that is the NXU Library. Aside from that, you'll find LinkedIn Learning. So if you haven't heard about LinkedIn Learning yet, it is obviously in relation to LinkedIn. It's a platform where you get unlimited access to over 16,000 courses and videos around the world, covering so many different topics and areas. And so you can use this for additional learning. You'll find that actually we have suggestions for you that's embedded in some of the Nexford courses, where we tell you, this is in relation to the module that you're currently studying. If you want to do some additional learning, watch this video, this link, or take this LinkedIn Learning course, and then you can receive a certificate of completion. And this can be added obviously to your CV. So it's a great way for you to do some additional learning. Our learners really love this benefit, as you can see. All right, and aside from that, you'll find that there are digital badges as well that you receive upon completion of certain courses. So these have fun names like data-driven decision maker, financial decision supporter. So you receive these digital Nexford badges when you complete certain courses. Of course, if that doesn't make sense to anybody, the great thing is anybody can click on this and it takes you to this official page by badger. It's a verified badge. It tells everybody when you received it and what was the earning criteria. So what skills and knowledge did you gain to actually be awarded this Nexford badge? Some of our learners make it a hobby of really collecting these badges. It's a great pat on the back. It's a great way to show that you're on track with your Nexford program. All right, last but not least, let me just also cover the other things that are related to career. So this is our career services portal. So one of the many ways we help you with your career, of course, is through your access, to LinkedIn Learning. So normally this is with a subscription, but as a Nexford learner, you receive unlimited access to this. Please, guys, if anyone's sending questions, please send more. I'm going to wrap this up in a few minutes, so I'd love to answer all of your questions. So any questions you have in mind, just drop them in so I can address them very soon. All right, so this is LinkedIn Learning. You also get access, if you're based in Africa, you can get unlimited access also to IBM Digital Nation Africa. And this is quite similar to LinkedIn Learning, only it covers, I would say, more cybersecurity or AI related programs. Whether you're into AI or programming or cybersecurity or technology and all of that, you'll find more topics related to that in this platform. You can also create a profile on Localized for free. So on Localized, you can get connected with career coaches and mentors around the world. You can even join virtual job fairs. So I recommend you check out Localized, learn more about this very useful platform as well. All right, and of course, we will help you with everything, whether it's job applications, reskilling and upskilling. You'll see that we can help you with everything on, how to create a good CV, how to prepare for interviews, and so much more. We also have something called the Global Grid. So this is a brand new initiative that we launched recently as well. So it's a mentorship program. You can read about it here. It's the Global Grid. You can go to nexford.org/career/the Global Grid. So through here, you're going to learn about this mentorship program, which is designed to help you prepare, or to enable talent around the world to prepare for remote jobs. So you'll see that there's a group mentoring sessions that we hold regularly, which is exclusive only to Nexford learners. And you'll find that our mentors are, handpicked from around the world for their expertise, and they work in companies like Samsung and Google and Coca-Cola and so much more. And then we also hold these live webinars. These are actually open to the public though. So I recommend you check our events page to learn about when we are holding these webinars, which we hold regularly. So this is the Global Grid, one of the many ways we help you. You'll see that we also have something else called Forage. And this is where you can actually create some sort of project or apply your a virtual job experience. And once you do that and you submit that, you can even share that with employers, and then you can actually get internship opportunities through that. So you'll find that Forage also will do suggestions for these within your Nexford courses and modules, where we can be like, okay, this is in relation to this module as well. If you want to do some additional learning and apply the experience or the skills that you're learning in this course, you can do so by using Forage, and this can truly help you land a job as well. So again, you feel free to email our team to ask more about this, or you can just go to forage.com and learn more about these work experience program. Last but not least, you'll find that we have something where every Nexford learner actually gets a tree. So this is if you're interested, or I would say if you care about the environment, if you care about sustainability or climate action, you would be as excited about this as I am personally. So every Nexford learner receives a tree. You can register it. So Nexford actually has a forest in Tanzania, and this is in partnership with Tree Nation. So you can learn all about it here. We have already planted over 6,000 trees so far, which is super exciting. And yeah, I recommend you read more about this here as well. All right, I think I have covered as much as I can of the online platform so far. And I think I'm ready to take some questions. I see some people who have raised their hands. Do you guys have any questions for me? Let me start off by answering the ones we received already. So a good question from Judith from Nigeria is, why are there no examinations? That is a very valid question. And this is just because this is how Nexford is set up. So we don't believe in exams. We rather believe in you applying the skills and the knowledge that you gain throughout your studying in the assignments and in the projects that you're being required to do throughout your learning. So we practice a skills based or a competency based studying at Nexford, which means that we want to see you apply practical skills that you're learning, and you can do so by doing these assignments, by doing these final projects, upon which you get graded. And this is how we grade your overall, performance, I would say, in your Nexford program. So I hope that answers your question. Definitely, I will drop a WhatsApp line as well as help@nexford.org in the chat right now. So you can feel free to email our team and we can send you the university catalog as well. We can give you some additional readings. So you can learn more about the concept and the methods that we use at Nexford. If you have more questions in this regard, Judith, please feel free to share it as well. That means in the meantime, share that WhatsApp line I was telling you about. Okay, so we have a good question from Uba Rabu, who says, what happens if I can't pay for a month or two? That is completely fine. Uba, we know that life happens. We know that things can happen unexpectedly or out of our hands. Our team is going to be super understanding when it comes to that. So if at any point you feel like you're unable to pay your next upcoming tuition, please let our team know right away. So that could be your personal success advisor, or it can be our success team by emailing success@nexford.org. It can even be billings. Just let the information reach anybody in our team, and it's going to get in the right hands, and we're going to help you with that right away. So what normally happens is if you cannot pay, then we can pause your program. So everybody's allowed to take a leave of absence. So everybody has a leave allowance of a couple of months. So when you take a break, you take breaks months at a time. So it's not daily or weekly. So let's say you want to pause your program, the minimum you can pause is 1 month. Maximum depends on the number of courses you're taking at, the type of program you're taking at Nexford. So if you're taking an MBA, then I believe you can pause your program for up to 6 or even 8 months. I think it was, 4 to 6, and I think it's 8 to 10 for the BBA. Of course, you can receive clarification on this as well from our team through the contact information that I've also shared on chat. So definitely, if you cannot pay for a few months, anytime you pause your program, just to clarify, you will definitely not pay for any time that you aren't studying. So anytime you pause your program, so will your payments. Your payments would pause as well. You're welcome, Judith. I'm glad I properly answered your question. Does anybody else have any questions about Nexford, about the online experience, or about the application or enrollment process? Come on, guys, don't be shy. I see Chinaza is raising a hand. Do you have any questions for me? Okay, we have a question from Olusegun. On the average, how long is the MBA program? That's a great question. So the average program duration for our MBA is 18 months. So when we say average, that is because anybody at Nexford can finish faster or slower. So of course there are deadlines to meet. Mainly is that you need to complete each Nexford course within 2 months, right? So that is the maximum. But you can finish any Nexford course as less as 1 month. So instead of taking 2 months, you can finish in a month. That's one way you can finish faster. The second way is taking more than one course at the same time. So the higher your overall GPA is, as long as your grades are good, that means you'll be allowed to take more than one course at the same time and finish your program faster. So while the average program duration for our MBA, Olusegun, is 18 months, which is 1.5 years, a lot of our learners finish in just a year. We have many learners that finished their MBA in 8 to 10 months. In fact, we had an incredible story of a learner in Egypt just 2 years ago, I believe, who was able to complete his MBA in just 5 months. So, of course, that is quite an impressive feat. I wouldn't personally recommend that to most learners, but I think that was during the pandemic, the quarantine. So I know that he had a lot of time. I think he was perhaps not working. So I understand that everybody has their own schedule, their own responsibilities. So I recommend that everybody pace themselves. But the flexible pace structure at Nexford is definitely super helpful. It allows everybody to finish a program faster or slower, depending on your schedule, depending on your goals. And like I mentioned a lot, you will get 24/7 support. So your success advisor or our success team will also help you with pacing and with your schedule. So Olusegun, I'm curious, how long do you wish to complete your MBA program? Is 18 months good for you? Or do you feel like you can do a year, depending on your schedule as well as your goals? And keep in mind, you only pay tuition for the months you spend studying. Yes, definitely. Great question. So Olusegun asked, can I have a schedule that will allow me to finish in 12 months the MBA program? And can someone work with me on that 100%? So that is what the Success Advisor is there for, as well as our success team. So from the start, you tell them about your goals, and they can set you up on a learning path, whether it's an accelerated learning path or just a regular sort of slow-paced learning path. So definitely we will help you reach your goals. The main goal of any success advisor is to have you literally succeed. So at Nexford, we want to see you succeed, and we're going to be doing everything that we can to help you do that. Okay. You're welcome, Olusegun. Okay, we have a question from an anonymous attendee. Is there a certificate for the intermediate course? What's the duration for completing and submitting an assignment? Okay, great question. So yes, you receive a certificate when you take any Nexford program. Of course, for a degree, you get a degree certificate, an official degree certificate. For our short certificates, you get also, obviously a certificate, but for the intermediate courses or any of our single courses, you also receive a digital certificate, which is technically a certificate of completion, right? So you will receive one for sure. Don't worry about that, even if the course is 1 to 2 months. What's the duration for completing and submitting an assignment? I will need to double check on this. Let me check the section about the grading. If you'll give me a second. But I believe because there are 6 modules in every course, so there's a specific deadline for every assignment, and you will be given an overview of this for sure, though, as soon as you get enrolled in the course, even beforehand. So you'll know very early on about that. And of course, with the help of our calendars, or the calendar, you will already receive events on your calendar to tell you when it is exactly you need to submit those assignments. Well, I hope I answered part of your question. I don't know if it's the same anonymous attendee, but I'm not clear in the grading system at Nexford. Does your class show on your certificate after completing the MBA program? I mean, first class or second class, etc. So no, we don't currently have distinctions for graduates. So we do recognize our learners' achievements, of course, by awarding badges on specific courses designed with certain skills. So that's with the badges, of course, but we don't have distinctions for first class or such. All right, so that is one of the ways we do that. I hope I answered your questions in regards to that. Let me get back to you on the grading system as well. I'm just bringing that up on our page. I believe I showed you guys that earlier. And again, you will know everything about this in your NXU orientation. So everything about grading will be super clear to you, as well as the deadlines. All right, let me jump to another question for now. We have a question from TechnoSpark 2. Will the tuition fee go up next year? I don't believe so. Currently, our fees are fixed. Of course, they vary depending on where in the world you're from. So we have tailored tuition to match, different markets around the world to make sure that it's affordable for everybody. I know the economic changes around the world, it's possible. To be honest, our fees have gone up at the beginning of the year, but we had stable fees, I think, for 2 to 3 years. So it truly depends. But at the moment, I can't say that there's anything that is saying that we will, raise the fees next year. So I don't believe so. But of course, the sooner you enroll, the better. And it's great that you can enroll anytime and choose a future program start date up to 3 months ahead. So that way you can secure your spot at Nexford, you can secure your enrollment, and also secure our current tuition fees. Anonymous attendee again is asking, is it possible to switch to an MBA program with a third class? By switching, do you mean just to apply or to enroll in an MBA program? If so, then all we need for anybody to apply to an MBA is we need to make sure you have something that is equivalent to a bachelor's degree, right? So if you're in Nigeria, this can even be an HND plus an OND. So an HND and an OND, you just need to have the transcripts for that. You can apply with that. Around the world in general, we just need to see proof of any tertiary level education. So we don't, I would say, accept or not accept depending on the grade. So anybody can apply with a third class. I don't want you to worry about that. You just need to make sure you have something that is equivalent to a bachelor's degree. I hope that answered your question. We have a question here from Ofinime Thomas. Can a 12-month scheduled program be adjusted later to 18 months? Definitely. You can definitely do that anytime. That's why there's a flexible pay structure. So if you've already been going at a fast pace, at any point you can decide to take it slower and then finish each course in the designed 2 months. So there are 12 courses that you need to complete in the MBA. And so imagine you take each course in a month, that will allow you to finish in 12 months. If you take each Nexford MBA course in 2 months, the design 2 months, and that'll take you 24 months. So that is the way that you can calculate it. And with that calculation in mind, if each course takes 2 months, it takes 1 to 2 months, and you can take up to 3 or 4 courses at the same time, depending on your grade. So that is what's going to be able to help you, clarify, are you finishing your program in a year? Are you finishing it in 18 months, and so on? And like I said, the Success Advisor will be on board to help you with that, definitely. So you can adjust that anytime. You can pause your program. If you want to take it in 18 months, that's completely fine. I hope that answered your question as well. Chinaza DJ says, please, I need an assistance on choice of a program. Okay, that is exactly what the Nexford advisors are on board for. So please check out the contact information I shared on chat. You'll find that there's a WhatsApp line there. You'll also find that there's an email, help@nexford.org. So that's an email inbox you can email us on as well to help you with that. I put a link for booking a consultation. So for this virtual tour, I also hold these weekly one-on-ones. So you can book a 15-minute virtual tour with me as well, and I'll be more than happy to answer any questions you have. You can also book a consultation in general with a Nexford advisor. So that is a call instead of a tour like this, where they can learn more about your current, education or your previous education, as well as your career goals, if you're working or you're not working, what field you're interested in, and so much more. And all of this will help us help you pick a program as well as a specialization if you're choosing to be specialized in a certain area. Okay, I hope that answers your question, Chinaza. We'll be super happy to help you pick a program, of course. So do let me know if you want. From now, I can even answer you live. What is your previous education? So what is the highest academic qualification that you have? Based on that, I can at least direct you to whether or not you're applying for a graduate level program, or if you can apply to an undergraduate level program. Right, we have a question from a Zoom user. How do we get the original certificate after our studies? Great question. So upon graduation or upon completion of your course, everybody receives a digital copy of their official certificate straight to their mailbox. If you wish to receive a physical copy as well, you can request from our team. Currently, I think there's an additional fee for that. That may vary depending on the time that you graduate. So you can ask our team about that. So 100% you will receive anyway the original certificate straight to your mailbox digitally. Or you can choose a physical certificate to be mailed to you around the world. Olusegun is asking, how many courses are there to go through the MBA program? Those are 12 courses. Here. I'll share my screen momentarily. So you'll see even on the MBA page on our website in the courses and competencies section, if you scroll to the bottom, This gives you an idea of the timeline as well as the program structure for our MBA. So there are 9 core courses you need to complete, and you can choose, of course, from the 26 courses we have on offer. Once you complete the 9 core courses, this is the stage where you have to select whether or not you're taking 3 elective courses or 3 specialization courses. So if you take, of course, 3 specialization courses, being one of any of these specializations, then you will have an MBA with a specialization, or you can pick, of course, elective courses, and that'll make you graduate with a general MBA. Right. So to go back to your question, that means where did it go? Yeah, how many courses are there to go through the MBA program? So the minimum is 12, right? The minimum, whether or not you take a general MBA or an MBA with a specialization, so that's a minimum of 12. You can choose to take an additional specialization. It's not going to be added to the MBA degree certificate, but you'll have an additional specialization certificate that anybody can take, even to MBA specializations. All right. It can be up to even 17 courses. And that is if your previous bachelor's degree is not already in a business related field. All right. So let's say you studied pharmacy. So you would then be asked to take a business certificate course, which is business foundations. So you'll have 4 business foundation courses you need to take first before jumping into the MBA core curriculum. I believe this answer is actually Chinaza's question about I studied BSc chemistry. Which course can I switch to? Because you have a BSc, which is still a bachelor's program, this means you can apply to our MBA. But like I just mentioned, you may be required to take 4 business foundation courses first to help make your MBA journey so much easier and to help qualify you for the MBA. There is a question I believe I missed here. Is it from Al-Qasim Abu Bakar says, do you have any cybersecurity degree programs, and how long does it take to finish a degree program? So our program durations vary for the reasons that I've mentioned a few times in the call, which is, of course, there's an average program duration for every program, but also you can finish faster or slower. So it truly depends on each person. Having said that, let me quickly tell you the average program durations for each program. So for the MBA, that's 18 months. For our BBA, that's 48 months. And for our AAS, which is our Associate of Applied Science and Business degree, that is 24 months. So all of those are just average program durations. You can finish faster or slower. In regards to your question about cybersecurity, unfortunately, we do not currently have a Nexford program that is specific to cybersecurity, but we have some specializations that are in relation to that. So if you're interested in advanced artificial intelligence or the future of automation, you'll find that we have a specialization in that, under which there is a cybersecurity leadership course, which is also included in another MBA specialization, which is our managing hyperconnectivity specialization. So you'll find that there are tech-related things, cybersecurity, related, specializations and programs or courses, but not a degree that is specific to cybersecurity. So I hope that answers your question. All right. Another question from Olusegun. I believe I can register and enroll for the program starting in September 1 from now, which is about 17 days away. Yes, 100% you can. So to keep in mind, guys, the enrollment deadline for any intake is the 27th of the previous month, right? So I do recommend you finish your enrollment process. Sorry, I believe it's the 23rd. My apologies for that. So just in general, definitely finish your enrollment and your application 1 week prior. That gives you, just more than ample time to finish all of that and join the next intake. Again, reach out to the different types of contact information that I've shared on chat for more clarification on this, but definitely 17 days is more than enough time for you to hopefully join our September 1st intake. But the sooner you apply, the sooner you enroll, the better. And this is just to avoid any possible complications with the, the admission requirements or the documents that you share, anything like that. Let's see, Judith, you're saying at what point in the program can we pick the elective or specialization course? I believe I've just covered that. Can you drop another message, Judith, if you feel like I'd already answered that question instead of me going over it again? I believe I just did earlier go over what point you need to pick an elective or specialization course. Zoom user is asking, how is the graduation plan in Washington? Perfect question. So we're having our first graduation ceremony in Washington, D.C. actually end of September. We're super excited about it. Currently, it's only available, I believe, for September learners or learners at Nexford that will complete their program or graduate by or before, I think, September, mid-September, end of September, something like that. But I do believe there are learners that can join as well. In any case, Nexford plans to hold these Washington, D.C. ceremonies hopefully yearly. So stay tuned for that. We will help you, of course, with the visa letter. We'll have a ton of information about where you can stay and accommodation and all of that. But currently, you can email our team for more information about what exactly Nexford can cover. All I know for sure is that we will help you with a visa letter, but I do believe most of the fees and such are on you. And if nobody can attend the US graduation ceremony, don't worry. We are also holding, graduation ceremonies sometimes around the world. We've held one in Nigeria. We're holding another in Nigeria actually this year. We held one in Egypt before. So you can definitely learn more about that. And Nexford definitely plans to hold a virtual graduation ceremony also in the future. Judith, I don't know if you're still with us on the call. I'd love some sort of confirmation if I was able to answer your question already about the elective or specialization course. All right, Al-Qasim Abubakar is also asking, I have a national diploma in computer science. Will it matter when enrolling to a bachelor's degree program? No, it won't matter, Al-Qasim. You can definitely still enroll in our bachelor degree program. All we need for anybody applying to a bachelor degree program or an undergraduate level program, we need to just clarify that you do have something that is equivalent to a high school certificate. And in this case, a national diploma is definitely acceptable. It doesn't matter the topic, even if it's in computer science, you should be eligible to apply. And Mariam Abdullahi is asking, when will you have another session like this? Great question. So I hold these probably every Sunday. So please, if you're already, in our mailing list, or you can even email help@nexford.org. We'll share information with you about when we hold these. So I hold these weekly. I have a larger one I hold monthly. So we have a lot of these virtual tours. I also hold one-on-one virtual tours for around 15 to 30 minutes or 20 minutes. Of which I've also shared the link for that in the chat. So please make sure to explore that and explore our events page on our website. That's going to give you a big idea about how often we hold these and how you can join. Anybody still with me on the call? Thank you so much for staying with me this whole time. This is being recorded, so you can ask for a playback for this tour, definitely, so you can also go over any of the parts that I've answered and better learn about the overall Nexford learning experience. So I hope that answers your question, both Al-Qasim and Mariam. Okay, Judith, amazing. I answered your question. I'm so happy to hear that. All right. Toludupe is asking, if your BSc is science related, but you have many years of work experience on business related roles, do you still need to take the business foundation classes? This is a fantastic question, and thank you so much for asking this. You can definitely help support your case by providing proof of your work experience. And if our team sees that that is sufficient, then it's possible that you may be able to qualify directly to study our MBA without taking the business foundation courses, MBA program directly, but it's definitely possible. So any documentation, any proof that you can share will definitely be a big help. I hope that answered your question as well, Tolulupe. Anonymous attendee says, I'll need the recording. Okay, amazing. Just please send an email to help@nexford.org and ask for the recording. That is just in case our team isn't automatically going to send you the recording for this, but it is being recorded, so there will be a playback. We'll just need to share it with you by email. So please stay tuned for that. Anybody else who needs the recording, please email help@nexford.org or WhatsApp our team in the number that I shared on chat. All right, we have gone well into an hour, guys. I'm so happy that you guys had a ton of questions for me. I really enjoyed answering them. If you have any more, feel free to squeeze in, one quick last question or two. I'll be happy to address them. So I'll give you just a few seconds to think about that if you have any additional questions. If not, then I think we can wrap up our call today. Okay, I think you guys have run out of questions, which is great. Amazing. Thanks so much, Alosagun. Thank you so much for that confirmation. I loved your questions. Please, if you have any more, if anything comes to mind, just reach out to our team. We'll be super happy to help you anytime. I look forward to all of you applying and studying with us at Nexford. Hopefully you'll all join the September 1st intake or anything after that for sure. Again, I hope you enjoyed the Nexford Virtual Tour today. Thanks for taking the time out of your day or out of your evening to join me. And I hope you enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you so much. Bye, everybody.